The medical scan. Jason woke up to the sound of machines beeping. His vision was blurry. The room was too white, too clean. He tried to sit up, but pain shot through his side. A soft voice stopped him. "Don't move. Your ribs are still repairing." He turned his head and saw her, tall, silver-skinned, glowing eyes, calm face. She looked like a statue carved from light. "Where am I?" Jason asked. "You are in Medical Bay 7, she replied. "You were injured during the station blast. I am your attending medic. My name is Arya." Jason blinked. "You're not human." "Correct," she said. "I am Lithari." He'd heard of her kind, cold, logical, advanced. They followed rules, like machines. "What happened to me?" he asked. "Your body suffered internal bleeding, bone fractures, and oxygen loss," Arya said. "You were dying. I used emergency protocol 77B, he frowned. "What's that?" She paused. "Genetic integration. I used my own cellular link to support your repair systems." "You gave me alien DNA?" "Only for healing," she said. "It is harmless and temporary." Jason groaned and rubbed his face. "Do I need to worry about growing extra arms or something?" "No," Arya said flatly. "It is just protocol." The next day, Jason was stronger. He walked slowly around the medbay, testing his balance. Arya monitored him quietly, checking his scans. "You heal faster than expected," she said. "Guess your alien genes helped," Jason joked. "As I said," she replied, "it is standard procedure, nothing more." Still, something about her tone felt off. Too sharp, too distant. On the third day, Jason was packing his bag when Arya returned. This time she looked different, not in armor, not calm. She looked pale, nervous, even afraid. "I need to speak with you," she said quietly. Jason put down his bag. "Sure. What's up?" Arya stepped closer, holding a data pad tight in her hands. "I ran a follow-up scan on myself this morning. It was routine." He waited. She didn't look up. "I found unexpected results," she said. He raised an eyebrow. "Like what?" "My body has begun internal development," she whispered. He didn't understand at first. "Development of what?" Arya looked at him now, straight into his eyes. "Pregnancy." The word hit the room like a bomb. Jason stared at her. "You're... what?" "Pregnant," she repeated. He took a step back. "How?" "You said the healing was safe." "It was. Usually. This has never happened before." He sat down slowly, trying to breathe. "How is that even possible?" Arya walked across the room and pulled up a hollow screen. It showed 2 DNA strands, gently wrapping around each other. "Our bond during the healing went deeper than expected," she said. "Your body responded to mine, your cell accepted me. And now you're saying, our genomes created life," she finished. Jason rubbed his face. "This isn't real. This is some medical mistake." "I checked twice," she said. "It is real." He looked at her again. Arya, cold, strict, emotionless, now looked like she was barely holding herself together. "Do your people know?" he asked. "No," she said. "If they find out, they will take me. And possibly you." "Why?" "Because this kind of bond is forbidden," she whispered. "My kind does not breed with others. It is considered impure." Jason stood up. "So what do we do?" Arya stared at the floor. "I do not know." That night, Jason sat alone in the corner of the medbay. He kept thinking about her words. A mistake, an accident, or something more. She had saved his life, and now... There was a part of him growing inside her. He didn't feel fear. He didn't feel anger. He felt something else. A strange pull. A strange need to protect her. And maybe, just maybe, to protect what they had created. An impossible match. Jason didn't sleep that night. He lay on the medical bed, eyes wide open, listening to the soft hum of machines. Across the room, Arya stood by the window, staring into space. She hadn't moved in hours, not even blinked. But Jason could feel it. She was breaking inside. He finally sat up. "Arya?" She didn't turn around. "Talk to me," he said. A long silence passed. Then she spoke, voice low. "You are the first human in known history to bond with a Lithari, and you're the first alien to ever get pregnant by one." Her eyes closed. "This should not be possible. Not by science, not by protocol, not by law." He stood up and walked to her side. Then maybe the rules were wrong. She looked at him now, no longer like a medic, not even like a queen or a warrior, just a woman afraid of what comes next. "You don't understand," she whispered. "My kind will not study this. They will erase it." Jason frowned. "Erase? You mean?" "They will terminate the growth," she said, her hand lightly resting on her stomach. "And silence the source." "Me?" Jason muttered. Arya sat down slowly. She activated a small hollow screen from her wrist. It showed her internal scan. Clear. Undeniable. 2 energy points growing, one hers, one not. "It began with the healing bond," she explained. "But your body responded too strongly. You didn't reject my link. It welcomed it. It wrapped around. So what you're saying is, my body liked you too much?" Arya blinked. "I do not understand human humor, but yes." Jason sighed. "So now what? We wait for someone to knock on the door and take us away?" Arya looked away. "They already know." He tensed. "What?" "I felt the scan signal hours ago. Someone on this station accessed my report before I could erase it." "How long do we have?" She stood. "Less than 1 cycle, maybe a day." An alarm beeped softly. Jason walked to the control panel and saw a red light flashing. Genetic anomaly detected. Level 3 containment required. "They're coming," he said. Arya nodded. "They will not ask questions, only act." Jason turned to her. "Then we need to leave." "Where?" "Have a contact," he said. "Old friend, works in the lower decks, moves people quietly." Arya hesitated. "I can't fight right now, my body is changing." "You won't need to," he said. "You saved me once. Let me return the favor." They moved through the back halls of the station. Arya wore a long cloak, head down. Jason led the way, watching every corner. His heart raced, not from fear, but from something else. Purpose. When they reached the cargo bay, a tall man waited beside a small ship. "Still getting into trouble, Jason?" the man asked. "Not me this time," Jason said. "It's her." The man looked at Arya, then at Jason. "You really did it, huh?" he whispered. "Accident," Jason said. "They'll chase you," the man warned. "You're holding something. They want to bury." "Then help me fly faster," Jason replied. Inside the ship, Arya sat quietly. Jason joined her, sitting across the console. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded once. "The growth is stable, but my body is unsure." "It was never designed for this, and your heart?" he asked. Arya looked confused. "What about it? What does it feel?" She placed a hand over her chest. "I do not know what this emotion is," she said softly. "But when you are close, it becomes stronger." Jason gave a small smile. "Then maybe we're both learning something new." As the ship left the station and vanished into warp space, Jason looked at her one more time. No longer just a medic, no longer just protocol. She was something else now, and inside her, a new kind of life had begun. Escape from the station, the stars outside the ship stretched into long lines. Warp drive had kicked in, pulling them far from the station, far from the danger. But safety was still a dream. Inside the small cabin, Jason checked the system logs. No trackers, no signals. They were clear, for now. Arya sat near the wall, silent, Her eyes were closed, but she wasn't asleep. Jason walked over and sat beside her. You okay? She opened her eyes slowly. My body feels strange. Pain? No, she said. Not pain. Something warmer, deeper. I feel light and heavy at the same time. She placed her hand on her stomach. And something inside, Mir is moving. Jason wasn't sure what to say. This was new for both of them. Do you want to stop? He asked. We can land somewhere safe. Just rest. Arya shook her head. No, we must keep moving. They will search all nearby systems. Jason nodded. I know a place. Small moon. No comms, no scanners. Just old traders and forgotten tech. How do you know it? I hid there once, he said with a smile. Long ago, before I met you. Arya studied him. You've been alone for a long time. Yeah, why? Jason shrugged. People leave, missions fail, war changes, everything. He looked at her. And you? I was raised in silence, she said. Taught to follow logic, no feelings. Only duty. And now? She looked down. Now I feel things I don't understand. They reached the moon within hours. It was dusty, dry, and quiet. Perfect. Jason guided the ship into a canyon, hiding it between rock walls. He helped Arya down the ramp. She moved slowly, her body no longer as sharp as before. Gravity here is strange, she said. Your balance will adjust, he said. This place is peaceful, no scans, no rules, just space to breathe. They walked to a small structure made of old steel and sandstone. Jason opened the door. Inside it was basic, just a bed, storage unit, and water tank. Arya looked around. You used to live here? For a while, he said. It's not much, but it's ours now. Over the next few days, they settled in. Arya rested more. Jason repaired old systems, cooked simple meals, and watched over her. Each night, they sat under the stars, not speaking much, just sharing silence. But one evening, Arya broke it. Today I cried, she said. Jason turned to her. Why? A bird flew into the window. It hit the glass. It died. He waited. I buried it, she said. And then I cried. I don't know why. Jason placed a hand gently on hers. Because your heart is waking up. My people would call it weakness, she whispered. I call it life, he replied. But peace never lasts long. On the fifth night, Jason picked up something strange on the scanner. A ripple. A soft signal. Not strong, but not natural either. They're looking for us, he said. Arya sat up. Already? Someone. Must have leaked the route, maybe my contact, maybe a tracker we missed. Can we run again? She asked. Jason looked at her, tired, fragile, glowing. No, he said. Not this time. Then what? He stood slowly. We stay. And we fight. Arya walked to him. She placed her hand on his chest. You are no soldier, she said. He smiled. Not anymore. Now I'm something else. What? He looked at her. I'm a protector. Of you. And of what we created. The choice to stay. Night on the moon was cold and silent. The stars above didn't blink. They just watched. Jason stood outside the shelter, his rifle in hand. He scanned the horizon every few minutes. Still no ships. Still no shadows. But the feeling in his chest wouldn't go away. They were being hunted. Inside, Arya lay on the small bed. Her breathing was slow. Her skin, once silver and smooth, now showed faint golden patterns across her arms. A new glow lived beneath her skin. Change had started, not just in her body, but in her heart. In the morning, Jason made food, warm broth from old supplies. Arya sat beside him, quiet, thoughtful. You used to be louder, he said, handing her a bowl. She nodded. I used to be empty. Jason looked at her. And now? Arya placed a hand on her stomach. Now I'm full, and full things move slower. They feel more. She paused. I think I feel too much. Jason smiled. That's not a bad thing. It is for my kind, she said. Emotion means weakness. Personal bonds lead to disobedience. And you? He asked. She looked at him. I want to disobey. Outside, the scanner beeped once, a faint energy pulse, still far but moving closer. Jason shut it down fast. Arya stood. It's them. Not close yet, he said. But they will be. Soon. We should run, she said. He shook his head. We've been running. I'm tired of running. Arya looked confused. So you wish to stay and fight? No, Jason said softly. I wish to stay and protect. He looked at her growing glow, her tired eyes, her shaking hands. I made a choice, he said. I'm not leaving you. Not ever. They spent the day setting up defenses. Jason rigged old mines into alert traps. He placed mirrors along the cliffs to catch movement. Arya used her knowledge to seal the door with a heat-based lock. It wasn't a fortress, but it would hold. Long enough. That evening, Arya stood by the small window. I used to see humans as wild, noisy, short-lived. Jason laughed. That's fair. But now I see something else, she said. I see strength in your chaos, hope in your foolishness. She turned to him. You saved me. Not just my body. You gave me something no law ever did. What's that? She touched her chest. Freedom to choose. The sun dipped low. They sat side by side in silence. Arya leaned against his shoulder. You think we'll survive? She asked. Jason didn't lie. Maybe not, but will matter. She nodded. Then I want this. This place. This moment. He looked at her. You're sure? I am, she said. I choose to stay. With you. With our child. Jason closed his eyes. No more questions. No more doubt. Just choice. Far above the moon, a sleek black ship entered orbit. Silent, fast, deadly. Inside it, a message flashed across the pilot's screen. Target found. Prepare for recovery or termination. Hunted. Again. The sky changed. Jason saw it first. A black dot far above, moving fast against the stars. They found us, he said quietly. Arya stepped to the door, her hand resting on her belly. Her skin glowed brighter now, golden veins pulsing with soft light. How long? She asked. Minutes, Jason said. Maybe less. He handed her a small device. If something happens, you press this. It sends your location to a rebel, Group 2 systems away. They'll come for you. Arya looked at him, eyes wide. You're planning to stay behind. He nodded. I won't let them reach you. She grabbed his hand. You don't need to die. And you don't need to fight, he replied. You've already done enough. Now let me do my part. They moved quickly through the shelter. Arya helped Jason load the last 2 plasma rifles. She placed a small glowing crystal into his vest. This holds a piece of me, my energy. It will protect you once. One shot? He asked. One heartbeat, she said. He didn't ask what that meant. He just trusted her. The ship landed on the ridge above the canyon, silent. No lights, no banners, just purpose. Dark armored figures stepped out, faceless, tall, exact. They were not soldiers. They were erasers, designed to clean up anything outside protocol. Arya felt her knees weaken. Her body was slowing. Too much change, too fast. Jason helped her hide deep in the back tunnel, behind old metal doors. Lock it, from the inside, he said. Don't come out unless it's me. She touched his face. If you fall, she whispered. I fall too. Not today, he said with a small smile. Today we rise. Outside, Jason waited with both rifles in hand. The enemy moved like shadows. No words, no noise, just deadly steps on the stone. Jason fired first. The blast hit one square in the chest. It fell, but the others kept coming. He ducked behind a boulder, threw a pulse grenade and ran to a new position. But they were fast. Too fast. One of them reached him and struck his shoulder with a shock rod. He fell, teeth clenched. Then, light exploded from his chest. Arya's energy crystal. The attacker was thrown back, armor cracked. Jason gasped for air, still alive. In the back tunnel, Arya felt her heartbeat shift. Her body dropped to one knee. The child was coming. Not soon. Now. Jason kept fighting, but he was outnumbered. His rifle was broken, his vision blurred. But then, a scream echoed from inside the canyon. Not human, not fear. Power. Arya stepped into the light. Her glow was brighter than fire. Her eyes burned silver. And behind her, a soft cry. The baby had been born. The erasers paused. One of them scanned the air. They didn't expect a child to arrive so soon. They didn't understand. They weren't built to. But Arya did. She raised one hand, and her energy pulsed across the canyon. Machines stopped. The sky bent. Jason watched in awe. Arya was no longer just a medic, no longer just a mother. She was something new, something stronger. The last eraser stepped forward to fire, and Jason, with all his strength left, tackled him off the cliff. They fell together. The blast echoed far below. Arya cried out, rushing forward, the newborn in her arms. Jason! No answer, just silence. Birth under fire. The wind was still. The canyon lay quiet. Arya stood at the edge, her arms wrapped tightly around the newborn child. Her heart raced. Her body trembled. Her eyes stared down into the shadows below. Jason, she whispered again. Please answer me. No sound came back, only silence. A deep, painful silence. The baby stirred in her arms. Small, warm, alive. Its skin was soft like starlight, half human, half lithery. A soft glow pulsed in the child's chest, just like hers. Arya sat down slowly on the canyon floor, back against the stone wall. Her body was weak. Her mind was heavy. But her arms stayed strong. She wouldn't let go of this child. Not ever. She looked up at the stars above. So many. So far. You gave me this, she whispered to the sky. You gave me love, and left me with life. Tears rolled down her cheeks, something she never knew how to make before Jason. The baby moved closer to her chest, letting out a small sound. Arya gently rocked her. Shh, you're safe now. I'll protect you, even if it costs everything. But then a sound. Soft metal on stone. Arya stood quickly, hiding the child behind her cloak. A figure climbed slowly from the edge of the cliff. Bloody, burned, barely standing. Jason. Arya rushed forward. You fool, she cried. You jumped with him. He coughed and smiled weakly. Had to make sure he didn't get back up. She helped him to the ground, wrapping her arms around him. He rested his forehead against hers. You're okay? He asked. We're both okay, she whispered. She's perfect. He looked at the small bundle in her arms. She? Arya nodded. Your daughter. Jason laughed softly. She looks better than I do. They stayed like that for a long while, a human, an alien, and the child they never planned. But now couldn't live without. Hours passed. They returned to the shelter. Arya cleaned his wounds. He held the baby while she rested. And in that small, quiet place, a new kind of life began. Not ruled by protocol, not hunted by fear, just held together by something stronger. Family. That night, as they sat together watching the stars, Jason turned to Arya. Do you still think this was just protocol? She looked at him, then at the baby, then at the sky. No, she said softly. This was fate, new kind of legacy. Years passed. The moon where Jason and Arya once hid was no longer just a place to survive. It became their home, and home for others too. Word had spread, quietly, secretly, about the child born from human and Lethari blood. A child who was never meant to exist. But did, and she thrived. Her name was Elia. She had her mother's calm, her father's smile, and something that belonged to neither, a strange power that glowed softly from her skin whenever she was happy. She learned to speak early. She walked, before her first year ended, and when she laughed, even broken machines nearby flickered back to life. "She's special," Jason once said. "She is more than that," Arya replied. "She is a beginning." Other Lethari came. Not soldiers, not scientists, but seekers. Women who had once followed every rule without question. They watched Arya hold her child. They saw Jason fix things with his hands and joke without fear, and they began to wonder, what else have we been wrong about? Arya shared her story. Not to rebel, not to lead, but to show that change could be soft, peaceful, warm. She opened her home to those with questions, and slowly, the silence between two species began to crack. One day, Elia asked her father, "Why am I different?" Jason sat down beside her on the stone steps outside their shelter. He looked at the stars, then at her. "Because you came from something no one believed could happen," he said. "Because love made you, not science, not order." Elia thought, for a moment, then smiled. "Then I like being different." He pulled her close. "Me too." That evening, Arya watched them from the doorway. Her heart, once trained to never feel, now beat with pride. She had been a medic, a rule follower, a servant of law. Now she was a mother, a partner, a symbol. And with each day, her strength returned, not as a weapon, but as a voice. When Elia turned 5, something new appeared in the sky. A ship, but not one that brought fear. This one carried leaders, human and Lethari together. They had come not to arrest, not to erase, but to listen. They sat with Jason and Arya, and for the first time in history wrote a new agreement. No more silence. No more rules against what grows in peace. Many years later, Elia stood under the same stars. Older now, wiser. Behind her stood a small school filled with children of mixed blood, human, Lethari, and more. She smiled at the stars and whispered, "You tried to stop me before I was even born." Then she held up her hands and the sky flickered in return. But here I am, and far away, hidden deep in the archives of both human and Lethari history, a quiet line was written. They called her a violation, but to her parents, she was the future.